Welcome to Context Matters. On this video, I will discuss on how to summarize any Bible passage. How is it going, peeps? Today, I will discuss here how to summarize any Bible passage. This is the last episode of how to chart a Bible passage. The main goal why I am creating a video so that I can be a channel of blessing to other Christians. I want to help my brothers and sisters in faith on how to understand the Bible. On this last series of this video, I will discuss here on how to get the summary of any Bible verse that you want to know or to study. On my previous videos, I discussed on how to get the main point and the minor heading of a passage. I discussed on my previous video the process of getting it by examining conjunctions, repetitive words, phrases, rhetoric, so on and so forth. I discussed also how to get the minor heading. The goal of minor heading is to consolidate the connected verses from your main point. You must consolidate it into one thought. On this video, I will teach to you on how to summarize the whole chapter using the methods that I teach from part 1 up to part 3. Imagine you are reading a newspaper. Haven't you noticed when you read a news in the newspaper, you will see a heading above the content? What is the purpose of putting heading on top of the content? To summarize the whole content of the news. Of course, you won't base your conclusion based on the heading of the news. You must read the whole content for you to see the exact meaning of the article of the journalist. Same thing in the Bible. Haven't you noticed in your English Bible that you are currently using, there has a heading? You can rely on that heading because that is included by modern scholars who translated the Bible that you are using. But you must not depend on that heading alone. Why? Because modern scholars of different versions have different observation of the text. A good example is in the NIV and ESV. Testing of your faith versus trials and temptations. There is a lot of difference, right? On ESV version, on my observation, once you have faith in God, you will be challenged by circumstances. For example, the pandemic or COVID-19 that we are experiencing right now. On NIV version, my observation was there is a difference between trials and temptations. This shows who is the originator of trials and temptations. When it comes to NLT and Good News Translation, look at the heading. When it comes to NLT and Good News Translation, look at the heading. In New Living Translation, it's faith and endurance. What does it mean by it? Another thing why you should not depend on the headings of the Bible alone, because of the incomplete thought. Of all the translation that I investigated, I will give a point for King James Version because the translation of the text has no headings. I examined the KJV and I cannot find any headings. That is why Christians who use King James Version will be obligated to chart the passage just to get the main point, minor heading, and the summary of the passage. When it comes to Good News Translation, what is the meaning of this faith and wisdom? Are they connected or disconnected? It is good that we have a heading just to have a glimpse of the flow of the text, but the downside of it is it can be changed based on the observation of biblical scholars. The headings in the Bible can be changed, but the Word of God cannot be changed. Therefore, You must investigate the Word of God by applying the rules and not just by checking the heading. I will show in this video the formula of charting the passage of the Bible. As you may notice at the bottom, you are just getting the information of each verses by getting the main point. It's getting narrow when you consolidate all the gathered information, and it's getting smaller when you summarize now the whole chapter of the book. How did I conclude on God can turn a bad situation into good for His favor, for the benefit of the growth of Christians' faith? What is the bad situation they faced? You must look at the green highlight. They were scattered from other nations. Christians started in Jerusalem. Because of persecution, they went to other nations to preserve their life. There was a problem in their society. Orphans and especially widows are neglected from their needs because they cannot work. The poor was oppressed by the rich people. They have grudges and there is sin. Cause of temptation is on their evil desire. They are not doers of the word of God. They cannot tame their tongue to stop evil things to others. Why God can turn their worst situation into His favor for the growth of Christians' faith. You can look at the purple highlight. Because God is on their side, their worst situation won't kill them. Hence, this will give them growth for their Christian living. Despite that they were oppressed, God still blesses those people who persevere because they are holding on to the promises of God. They are blessed because they obey the word of God and they have faith in God. Don't just focus on the small words to get the summary. Focus on the whole chapter. If you have learned something on this video, please leave a comment and don't forget to like and subscribe on my video so that you will be updated on my upcoming tips on how to interpret the Bible. Remember, deeper worship to God is based on how deep is your knowledge to His Word. Until next time.